You were the story. Were you ever the story one year?
At Christmas one year, but it was never for food. It was my brother. Thanks for bringing him up. He died, but he kept messing with
beer.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, let me interrupt the story about
kicking it up, land 6. But he kept like just picking at me, but it wasn't like enough to where everybody could see it. But he would just like be behind me and like pull my just like one hair out or whatever, and then I eventually got so mad that I got up and then I kicked him in the balls in front of everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so I'm sure that was the story but I was like, I had enough of this, but nobody else knew that he was doing anything.
You just look like a rage monster for no reason.
Like, Brent, if you didn't like the mashed potatoes, just say something.
It's not the potatoes, it's the family. That's the problem.
You turn the beat up. Thank you. Yeah. Bobby, I'm eating brunch with my people though. Homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and had to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream, them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture, cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa, it's Harder Brunch, yeah. It's Harder Brunch, whoa.
Hey. Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels, and with me, as always, my co-host, Thaddeus J. McKee.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I thought there was going to be more.
I was just agreeing with you as a yes and that is who I am.
Yeah.
Thad McKee, you said everything right. That's right, baby. Slightly peppy went.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last woke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan, everybody.
Let's.
Yeah, let's see if
my favorite one I've heard.
See if we can keep this
season.
Bad catchphrase game going. Very special returning champion with us, comedian and podcaster extraordinaire, Brent Terhune.
I didn't know I was a champion.
Yes, you were returning.
Yeah, you betcha.
There it is.
Yeah, you betcha. Welcome back, Brent Terhune. You did the podcast back in the day before we had video technology, and now we're living in the future, the year of our Lord, 2022.
It was about 2018, I think, is when I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was an analog podcast. It didn't actually go out. It was just more of like an interview.
Yeah.
With a vampire kind of thing.
It didn't even go out. It's just you set up the mics and we recorded, but we weren't really recording. It's just you had me over for a conversation.
I practice my talking is what I like to do. Well, welcome back, Brent. We have some very exciting news. Very exciting news this week. We are officially sponsored by the best coffee in town, Tinker Coffee.
Bum, bum, bum. Can we have like a sponsor button? Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's all of them? It's just all the buttons. I like it, actually.
And I love that they gave us like a drug dealer sized bag full of coffee. Have you ever seen a coffee bag this big?
No, not in legal places.
Yeah.
Not above ground, sir.
Not above ground. So I went into their roastery and man, it smells so good in there. Like when you go in and it's just roasted beans and stuff, and I was like, I'm here for the Harder Brunch coffee, and I saw them pouring this out of a silo, and I was like, that's a lot of coffee. That's good. Can you tell I had 5 cups already today?
Oh man, we drank so much coffee today. It is a problem.
So I'm very excited to say.
That was great.
Let me get my readers on here. That they have this coffee subscription. Listeners to the show can save 25% off their first month subscription with code WHATBRUNCH.
Wait, so you're telling me if you're a listener, all you got to be like, hey, brunch, Harder Brunch?
It's just brunch. It's code brunch.
It's not even Harder Brunch.
No, just code brunch.
They don't have to show a sticker. Do we have one of those stickers here?
We don't want to make it more complicated than it is, since it's so easy. You just use code brunch.
Code brunch.
Code brunch, and you get 25% off.
That's easy.
They also just launched a new text-based coffee club that gives subscribers access to special deals, limited edition coffees, and events. All you have to do is join the club is text the word Tinker to 844 9471021.
Yep, and they made us sing that song too. Stink. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Stink.
Oh wait, we messed up. 1, 2, 3. Tinker, it's no thinker. Thank you guys.
I think pretty sure they asked us not to sing that
Like,
song.
please don't sing that.
Please don't. I mean, you kept asking them, and they kept saying no.
Like I got good jingles.
Also, just a quick shout out. This is not a paid advertisement, but our friend Lucas Waterfill, who's one of the funniest comedians in the game, is going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club this November 26th. Tickets are on sale now. Man, I saw him. He just recorded his album and special. He just recorded his special, and man, a comedian is at the top of his game.
Yeah, I heard he's very funny. I heard he's a very funny guy. I've seen him in person and I've enjoyed his stuff. He's hilarious.
Yeah. How about you, Brent?
Not a fan. No. Yeah, Lucas is super funny.
It goes without saying, but you need to say it. But
You have to say it because you don't know him. You have to say it. Exactly. By the way, I want to point out that Tinker coffee bag is the same size as like a cat food bag. That's how big that is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, this is what I do for Thad in the morning is I just pour some in his bowl. Yeah.
You take the fork and you hit it against the martini glass that you serve the cat food in.
And if I'm gone for a long time, I'll just put it upside down in a dispenser so he can just paw at it. Get the coffee out as he needs it.
I like these jokes where I'm a cat. These animal-based Thad jokes are really funny.
You have been showing me your butt this whole show so far. So.
Well, that was for different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine what your litter box would be. Would be a problem.
Wait, what would be in my litter box? Probably poop.
Where are you keeping that thing?
Yeah.
What are you keeping in that litter box? Oh, I got some family heirlooms.
Do you realize a human litter box would just like, this is a bad segue from a Tinker commercial.
Tinker to stinker. There we
I'm
go.
just thinking, like, if you had a sandbox and you just had to cover it up, like, it wouldn't last. It would get full really quick.
Mine would?
Anybody.
Yours specifically, Thad.
You guys are trying to say I'm
you.
full of shit. I don't appreciate this. This isn't the type of Friendsgiving that I wanted. Where I was compared to a cat that shat a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The Cat in the Shat. That was my favorite book.
The cat in the hidden litter box.
Also, man, we had so much going on today. Happy Friendsgiving, everybody.
Oh,
Happy
yeah.
Friendsgiving. Happy Friendsgiving. Cheers. Cheers. Man, it was really fun. We had a lot of friends of the podcast over, a lot of comedians, a lot of just friendly folks.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. This Upland beer is so good. And I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying this just because we just got sponsored by Upland. I want to interrupt for that, but like, man, is their beer good.
That's their slogan, Upland Beer. It's make you interrupt on a podcast.
All right, I'm done.
Be at a funeral somewhere, just be like, Mary was beloved in her congregation.
Hold up. This beer is good.
Sorry. I'm gonna let you finish. You tried this Upland beer yet?
She had one of the best lives of all time, but it's one of the best beers of all time.
Yeah. I'm not even sorry, guys. This is just so good, this Upland beer.
Yeah. Funeral interrupting beer.
Upland.
God, you nailed it.
Upland. There we go.
I think that between that and the Tinker song, I think we got it.
We got it. We're done.
Yeah, I don't know. Friendsgiving, I lost it. Oh yeah, so you have had the rare treat of having White Castle stuffing on both occasions that you were over here.
Yeah, because I told you. Well, I told my my wife. I said, "Hey, remember when we had that White Castle stuffing?" And she's like, "That wasn't me." So that must have been somebody else. But the thing is, I'm not going to eat stuffing with anybody. I don't hang out with a friend. Be like, "You want to get some stuffing?" Then I remembered that when I did Harder Brunch the first time, you made that. And it's been on my mind for however long it's been.
Yeah.
So I had it again, and it did not disappoint.
It almost ruined your marriage. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
it did. Whose White Castle stuffing have you been eating, Brent? Let me smell your breath. I smell White Castle.
Can you imagine if that's how your infidelity was caught? It was like by a White Castle base.
Yeah.
I smell onions.
I smell onions. Were you with her?
I was gonna say, how many stuffing based divorces have there been? And then I was like, oh well, probably most of them.
Yeah.
I found a chicken ring in the laundry. Oh no, baby. That ain't mine.
I swear.
My mom used to kind of lie to me about her eating of White Castle. Because I wasn't really allowed to have fast food. I think we talked about. Did we just talk about this on your
my podcast, which will be coming out? It's called The Field Trip with Brent Terhune. If I could do a cheap plug here,
Yeah,
it's not. There's no thinker.
Yeah.
It's all tinker on my show, but it was fast food gimmicks.
Yeah.
So, and you were saying that you weren't allowed to have fast food when you were a kid.
Yeah, and my mom acted like she didn't eat it either, but every once in a while I would just find these bags,
Yeah,
like crumpled up, and there was always White Castle, and that was the one that I never got to have. So I just remember being like, how come you always eat White Castle without me? You said you never eat White. She told me White Castle made her sick, and so she couldn't have it, and so then I couldn't have it, and then every once in a while I would see a crumpled up White Castle bag,
Yeah.
and I was like, what's going on here?
but the thing is, I don't doubt that it made her sick.
Yeah.
It
She
makes
wasn't like-
everybody sick.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It took me like 15 years to realize that she was getting it when she was drunk.
Okay.
And then they would just leave the bag in there, and then in the morning it would like tattle on her.
Because for forever she was just saying that she was an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Way before Uber was even,
Yeah.
that's one of my riders had that back there.
Do you remember? This was a few years back. Hardee's they printed all their bags. This really shitty slogan. It was just like, looks like somebody was hungry. And then I would just wake up after a night of drinking, and I would just see this crumpled up bag, and it was like, looks like, and I was like, somebody did this on purpose. Like
Yeah.
somebody did this just to shame you the next morning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody says that, it's never like, oh, you were genuinely hungry. It's like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
you were really hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and the same thing is like if someone says, "Is it good?" Like if you take a really big bite in front of someone, it's like, that looks good, huh? Like it's pretty good. That's a shame as well.
Yeah. Is that sandwich good right there?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
paying attention to me?
Yep.
You're willing to sacrifice our marriage for the stuffing?
Friendsgiving. So everybody did a pitch in, some great dishes. Like Bridget brought some wonderful pies that she made at work at Pots and Pies.
She technically brought a pie from a shop,
Pots and
but
Pans
it was from
Indy.
Pots and Pans Indy, which makes fantastic pans.
Pots and Pans.
And
Thank you.
pies.
Thank you. Pots and Pans Indy. Well, she made them at work.
Right.
And one of them was our state pie, the sugar cream pie, and she made a sugar cream pie brulee, and then the other was a sweet potato pie. And I just realized, at no time in my life do I ever need to eat two pieces of pie. I never need to eat two pieces of pie at the same time.
I'm a once, twice, three pies a lady. I'm a big pie guy.
You ate three?
I'm a 3.14 guy.
That goes on forever.
There it is. I'm a big pie guy. I won't deny.
Which one did you double
pie.
up on?
Can I be very honest on this podcast, or should I lie?
Or in the truth tree?
I didn't try any of the pies. And gosh, it's not like I was full. I'm going to try the pie.
So you're not a pie try guy today.
I'm not a try pie guy today, but I will try the pie after this.
After the food settles down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably smart, because I am very sleepy right
I
now.
wanted to enjoy it. Listen, Bridget's one of the best pastry chefs in the country. I don't want to say the country, the world.
I was so afraid you were going to backpedal.
That was a great save. That was
I didn't want to say the country. I would say the world.
But yeah, she wanted us to let people know that those pies are all available for sale for holiday needs.
Yeah. Do you guys hear that? Go buy some pies.
And I'm done. I'm done selling stuff. I'm not selling anything.
What have you guys noticed between like Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving? Because it's definitely a different vibe to it. You know, with Friendsgiving, you could probably be more relaxed than you are around your family, right?
Yeah. Well, my first Friendsgiving there was so much weed being smoked, and I just remember it was like, but there was also children there, which I thought was interesting. But everyone
The children were smoking the weed.
No, but everyone would go into the back room for grown up time. And then they would just come out, and then it was like, time to eat. And then I remember my friend tried to throw me under the bus by making me say grace in front of his family, like his like extended family. And I was just like, oh, this guy just knows me as a dirtbag. This guy doesn't know how hard in the paint I went in Catholic school for like 15 years. Nailed that grace.
Oh, you slaughtered that grace.
I pulled out the Heavenly Father.
Oh.
Genuflected.
Father God. Did you hit him with the Father God?
My favorite is when people like start like doing Bible verses and like different stories like through the prayer. Like they'll be like as Jonah was stuck in the whale, and here we are. I don't know. They just
when people start showboating during the look, everyone's hungry. Yeah. All right, just make it respectable.
Is he quoting Maccabees right now?
Is he quoting Macklemore right now? But yeah. Oh man, when people start bringing up the dead before a prayer, you know, and Aunt Shirley, God rest her soul. Like,
hold up. She had one of the best lives of all time. I'm just saying, this Upland beer is some of the best I've ever had.
My also favorite too is like when people like try to control people with the prayers. Like they want to make sure everybody's eyes are closed. Like God, no peeking during my prayer. They'll like stop and they'll be like looking at everybody. I don't know.
Is that a thing? Is that no?
Or I guess
sounds more like Heads Up 7-Up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. I actually don't know what prayer.
Wait, if you peek during a prayer, does that mean your prayer doesn't come true?
Wait. I'm getting this right. You pray, you put your thumbs up, and then God pushes your thumb down if He answers your prayer. Am I playing this right?
And if you tell people the prayer won't come true.
Yeah, exactly.
I was getting Heads Up 7-Up and Hitman confused.
Oh, okay.
Similar games. No, but yeah, it was a great pitch-in. We had two friends of the show, Beth and Tenna. They were very late. They were, I would say, to a level of disrespect late. You know, like just like where like I was physically angry. You go through mental anger and then you get to physical anger where it's like
shaking.
Your blood's kind of hot. I had hot blood. I was like, I can't believe.
Yeah, but
they would disrespect this meal.
You're a texter 5 minutes after the deadline kind of guy.
Well, is that wrong?
I'm just saying, like,
what do you mean?
I feel like you're physically upset when anybody's late. I don't think this was anything special.
It was really late though.
No, that's also true.
Hour late. Same.
The thing is, I was late, but since they were so late, that took all the heat off me.
Oh yeah, you need that though. But that's what they're good for.
Yeah.
Like to take the heat off the guest. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't like to use the word extremely a lot, but they were extremely late. And I wasn't going to bring up this text, but I get this text from Beth that says, "Hey, is there still people other than myself that's late?" Yeah, and I was like, well, that's an interesting text.
She was hoping to come in on the late wave. Is there like 3 other late people I could sneak in with?
That we could all walk in together.
I was imagining people were like having their plates ready and they're like, well, I thought there was green bean casserole.
No one can hear you, Beth.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, there was a little pause there. Beth
you're not mic'd up.
Not mic'd up. She's so used to being on the podcast.
She starts yelling. No, it was great. We did. I did a smoked turkey. I think it was the first year I've ever smoked a turkey. Yeah, that's right. I smoked a turkey at work.
How's that on your lungs?
I'm stuff pass.
I was waiting for it. There it is.
I'm up to 2 turkeys a day.
Are you quitting cold turkey? There it is. Hey. Oh no.
But yeah, turkey sliders. So it was kind of like the stuffing was made out of sliders, and then the smoked turkey, and then Sauce Boss with the 4 turkey demi glaze.
Yeah, I took 4 turkey carcasses and cooked them down for like a day, and then made a demi glaze out of them for the gravy.
Oh my god!
Now you own turkeys, is that correct?
Not anymore.
Okay, well,
probably shouldn't have named them after the Ninja Turtles.
I was wondering why Zach was crying the whole meal.
It's so good.
I miss you. I miss you, Butters.
No, I miss you, Raphael.
He named them after the Ninja Turtles. Okay.
What else am I missing? Jake Johnson came through with the cocktails, with the cranberry cocktail.
Who made the sangria?
That was Bridget Horan, peace be upon her. Who else? Who else am I forgetting there, Sauce Boss?
I made
Mashed
something.
potatoes.
Well, there was the 40 eggs.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Gwen.
Gwen.
I love that. That attention to detail. Go ahead with that.
Yeah, well, 40 eggs is something that's a Harder Brunch staple.
That's an after brunch thing.
After brunch staple, yeah. Which was amazing. She made 4 different kinds. Was it 3 or 4 different kinds of
like
deviled eggs?
Yeah, they were so. She made like lox, like their salmon lox with the everything bagel seasoning on
Like
there.
a bacon one.
I'm not gonna lie, I had 4. I had a tenth of the eggs.
Yeah.
If you were gonna lie, how many would you say that you had?
If I were gonna, I had 40. enough to hallucinate.
Oh, you're saying okay? You would have lied the other way. I thought you were gonna be like, I only had
Guys,
one.
Thad's been yoking.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rocky, and any way I could get my eggs, I'd do it.
Yeah, Sauce Boss, you made the mashed potatoes.
I made the mashed potatoes, and then
Man, those were so good. So many people were squealing about them.
I put a bunch of cream cheese in them.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that and butter. Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then you made the fingered cheese.
Oh, fingered cheese? Well, screw you for saying that. Fingered cheese. Have some respect. It was called. There was a good pun for it, and I almost forgot it. Pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
There's a little diced prosciutto. Had some crackers. Had some.
I like how you pat yourself on the back for the pun you couldn't remember. Hold on, it was a really good pun. What was it called?
Well,
those were good. I love when Thad cooks anything because it's always like I'm watching like a nature documentary. I'm like, this is gonna be interesting to see what kind of creation is. But like, he comes in and he's got a little bit of meat, he's got a little bit of cheese, a little bit of butter, and then 5 jars of pickles. And I'm like, what's he gonna do with these 5 jars of pickles?
I'm not gonna lie, I overdid it with the pickles.
I don't use the word extreme, but there was an extreme amount of pickles there.
There we go. I bought 5 jars of pickles because I was like, I don't know how many people are gonna come, and then it turned out that even if 20 people were there, I had 4 jars of pickles too much.
Yeah.
But no, that spread was really good. I think yours was the thing I went back for the most.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously.
that actually makes me happy. Because I never know if people are lying to me. Do you ever get that, Brent? Like, you feel like you made something there, everybody's like, oh, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. No, I get that all the time. Like, it's and then it's like, but there's most of it's there, so mathematically somebody didn't have it.
Right.
They're lying to me, and then I turn it into a murder mystery.
There we go.
Did you have a favorite?
The mashed potatoes, but mashed potatoes are always my
Nice.
go-to thing anyway. You know?
Okay. Well, see that. I mean, I think that's hard. You know what I think my favorite thing was the gravy.
The gravy was my favorite
Yeah.
thing that I've made recently, just because I was so excited to get so many turkeys, and
I would have put that in a beer bong.
Oh,
Just a beer bong full of gravy.
That sounds like you're asking for an intervention. Somebody give me an intervention.
I don't want to be here anymore. Release the gravy bong. Like, I remember being a kid, like in high school, we drive down to Bloomington, and you could just walk around during Little Five, and if you went to any house party and just said, I'm friends with Mike, and then they would just be like, oh, come on in, and then they would give children beer.
Here's gravy.
Yeah. but I remember them, I remember seeing these kids doing this beer bong. It was they were up on the roof, and then everybody was it came down and it was 4 chambers on the ground. And so it was a 2-story beer bong, and 4 people would do it at a time, and they were just having people off the street come up and do it. And I was like, man, just imagine if that would have been gravy instead.
Well, guys, we got an 800 number that you can call. If you have the same type of gravy craving, please call 1-800 Harder Brunch help.
What was your the difference between? I don't know, man. I never looked forward to any family holidays. After I was child present opening age. You know what I'm saying? After that, as soon as I got 18, I worked in the service industry, and I would request to work
So you wouldn't have to
on
go to all
holidays.
the holiday things. And why is that? Because you didn't like your family?
No, I love my family.
Doesn't sound like you did.
But I didn't enjoy hanging out with them. And it was just, it was always like, I was like the only one kind of in my age bracket.
Yeah.
So it was just a bunch of older people and then me. And then it was just like, as I got older, it was weird. It just seemed like a thing where like everyone kind of came and just did it because it was like the thing that we did. Like they wouldn't even really interact with each other. Like, one group would sit at this table, one group would sit at this, and it was like we were just eating next to each other.
But if the other group didn't show up, then the one group would be talking shit about the other group. Like,
it was like
they think they're better than us.
And it wasn't that, I don't know, like when it's a Friendsgiving, it always feels more like the fellowship and the fun and the stuff that you hear about, and it's just like,
well, you choose your friends, but you don't choose your family. So
yes. So it was like, so one time I went to New Orleans for Christmas. And it was great. It was like 80 degrees, and everybody was like, Christmas music's playing. Everyone like that you ran into was like, "Hey, Merry Christmas to you too." And I was like, "Oh, is this what Christmas is supposed to feel like?"
Yeah.
And like that's how Friendsgiving is for me. I'm just like, "Oh, is this what a holiday was supposed to feel like the whole like growing up?" And like I don't hate the holidays. I think I just don't like hanging out with my family. Like
yeah.
I
think that's the way for a lot of people, though.
Yeah. And so, and it was like, I mean, no one was talking about politics. Nobody was like insulting each other. Nobody was bringing up childhood traumas, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Remember when that dog bit you? Tell them about when the dog bit you. I don't want to. Tell them.
Was there a kids? There wasn't enough kids in my family to warrant a kids table.
Oh.
I was always kind of jealous of people that had the kids table.
It was just a Dyke table.
And the adult table. There was a lot of Dykes. There was my family.
A whole table full of Dykes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just looked at Zach. He's like, I think I just found the whole table full of Dykes. It's a big Dyke table. I don't know. I feel like sometimes like I have like bad memories from some Thanksgivings. Like, have you ever done like a extended family Thanksgiving, like where you don't know anybody, but you're supposed to pretend like everybody loves each other there? I went to one. It was my stepmom's step family. So you only see them once every other year.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of fights that break out because no one knows each other. No one. It was very weird. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm having flashbacks right now.
Tell them about when the dog bit you.
Yeah. I mean, I would have rather gotten bit by a dog at that one.
Yeah, well, it's one of those where then you're waiting. Okay, the pie's out, so 20 minutes so we can leave.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Nobody wants to leave before the dessert because that's the end of the meal, and then you're like, I gotta go be anywhere else.
Yeah. Grandpa's always trying to extend a story to keep everybody there longer. It was like, let's just get out of here.
I never get to see you all in the same place.
Yeah. Someone like at the last one that we had, someone announced like a wedding announcement, like right after a huge ass big fight.
Yeah.
It was like there was like a screaming match, like and then everybody's like, let's just get along. It's Thanksgiving, like that's gonna change something. And then like we're gonna pray and we're gonna eat. And then right before the prayer, someone's like, hey, we have an announcement. And I was like, what is this? And she's like, we're getting married. And I was like,
read the room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I used to call in sick to holidays sometimes. If I wasn't working, I'd be like, I'm sick. One time I went to I didn't mean to, but I ended up at a rave the night before in Bloomington, like the night before Thanksgiving, and I did a bunch of ecstasy, as was tradition at the time. It was the 90s, and then we just ended up staying up all night. And I remember like staying in somebody's dorm room and like trying to drink Malibu rum just to put a baseline so I could go to sleep, like come down off the ecstasy.
Oh, that sounds sad.
And then the next morning, like everyone had to go to their family Thanksgiving, and I was like, I'm just gonna call a mulligan on this. Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine the normal way I feel at Thanksgiving plus the way I feel right now.
Right.
But my friend, she actually went to hers and she just said that she was like gray and green at the table, and everybody was like, are you okay? And she was like, I'm fine. And then she just went face down in some mashed potatoes.
And that's the story her family tells about her.
Yeah. She's a mess.
You never want to be the story that people tell about Thanksgiving.
My first year in culinary school, I cooked for my whole family. Like some people had passed away and some people had moved. So like the dynamic shift. And so like I was like, oh, I'll do Thanksgiving. And one, I realized don't ever do all of Thanksgiving. Like it's ridiculously difficult and expensive. But I had made all the sides. I had made all this stuff. I had just never cooked a turkey before. I had cooked lots of chickens, and I was like, "Yeah, it's like a big turkey. It's like a big chicken."
To me, that's the same thing. But that's a guy I've never made both.
Well, I was in culinary school, so I should have known better, or just like give it a casual Google. But I cooked it for not nearly long enough, and then when we got to the church and I cut into it, it was still raw.
Oh no!
And like I was just like, hold on, and it ended up having to like. We had to like cut pieces off and microwave it to finish it. And it was like, and this was like almost 10 years ago. And every time we were the family, like, remember when you served us that raw turkey?
You were the story that year.
You were the story. Were you ever the story one year?
At Christmas one year, but it was never for food. It was my brother. Thanks for bringing him up. He died, but he kept messing
Upland
with
beer.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, let me interrupt the story about
Kicking it up, land 6. But he kept like just picking at me, but it wasn't like enough to where everybody could see it. But he would just like be behind me and like pull my just like one hair out or whatever. And then I eventually got so mad that I got up and then I kicked him in the balls in front of everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so I'm sure that was the story but I was like, I had enough of this, but nobody else knew that he was doing anything.
You just look like a rage monster for no reason.
Like, Brent, if you didn't like the mashed potatoes, just say something.
It's not the potatoes, it's the family. That's the problem.
Oh man.
Let's take a quick break and let's drink some tea or coffee while we're on that break. No, seriously, we have to drink this coffee. We have to go through this bag.
We're legally obligated.
We are. They're watching.
We're bean mules.
Sounds like a slur.
Tired of these bean mules coming over here.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Gen Z can't stop raving about the Harder Brunch Patreon.
Patreon.com/Harder Brunch slaps.
No cap, the Harder Brunch podcast is bussin' on God.
Move over, boomer. Gen Z's here to talk to you about the Harder Brunch Patreon.
Harder Brunch podcast on Patreon, $3 a month, low key is steal.
The Harder Brunch podcast deadass has me bricked up every day.
Listen to these all totally real testimonials.
No, like I'm getting paid to do this, don't worry. Yeah. No, you think I do this for free? No.
The Harder Brunch podcast deadass slaps. Sound younger! The Harder Brunch podcast deadass slaps.
Just go to patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
The Patreon After Brunch podcast hits different. That shit makes you feel shit.
Hi, and welcome back to the Harder Brunch podcast. Man, that was a crazy opener. I have so much I want to get to, but God damn it, Thad, you just brought something up. The Merkin. You just brought up the fact that what was your question about the Merkin?
Before I talk about Merkin,
yeah,
I don't ever want to get murked at a campsite fire. And this is campsite pale ale.
Okay.
Have you ever had this before?
I have.
It's delicious. It's good for the throat and the gut.
That's the weirdest ad I've ever heard. You started off with, I don't want to get murdered at a campsite.
Good for the throat and the gut.
The throat and the gut.
Two places you don't want to get stabbed. Merkin.
Definitely. Yeah.
Brought to you. All right, we're going to lose our sponsorship today.
Well, off mic, you said you had pubic hair extensions.
Well, yes, I said that.
Which is true.
Which is actually 100% true. I have a guy that I buy from. Mm-hmm. It's not horsehair. I've had that been asked. It's not horsehair.
Corpse hair.
But Zach, our producer, didn't know that people had wigs for their pubic area.
They would use it mainly for like movies and stuff. Or like if somebody was shaved, they didn't want to show like the full genitals, so like they would have to wear like a pubic wig down there to cover up. So a lot of times, I'm trying to think of like a good example. Like I don't know a famous example of one, but like
and Silence of the Lambs, the guy tucks back. But I don't remember if he had pubes or not. That didn't really stick in my head.
He didn't know he was shaved.
Okay.
It was
a buzz.
But that's where a merkin would have gone.
That would have been a great place for merkin.
Honestly, I'm a teacher, so I wear a merkin. Listen, just in case I get pantsed. It's like a double protection because kids will be silly.
Oh, look at Mr. Thad with his no pubes.
They're also not surprised that you don't have a penis either. Thank God he just has a woolly bush down there.
Purple bush. A woolly purple and red. You can get colored rainbow merkin. I got a rainbow merkin.
Yeah. So yeah,
he's like, how do I transfer from that?
So merkins are a real thing.
Take a chill sesh.
No, we're actually, so this is Thanksgiving week, but I was actually thinking we should have had you on our Halloween episode.
Okay.
Because outside of Dylan, I think you are the most like Halloween attuned person that I know.
Yeah.
Like you're very into horror movies, and every year on social media you do these like horror movie recommendations.
31, I guess 31 days in October, so I do one every day, and that was year 3, and now I'm out of good movies to recommend.
Oh shoot,
93 movies I guess I told people about.
That's awesome.
So now, because I was trying to do no repeats, but now I was thinking about next year. I was like, I got to do something, because you can't just. You got to name some hits that people actually enjoy, you know?
Right.
I kind of like some of the bad horror movies, though, too. Like, some of those are the best.
What's a bad one?
Thanksgiving, which is appropriate.
What's that about?
A killer turkey. And it's not good at all, but it starts, the first scene starts back in the, when they were pilgrims. And there's a lady running, but somehow her pilgrim outfit is all on, but except for the boobs. So you can see boobs the first shot, and the turkey says, "Nice tits, bitch."
Oh, wow.
And then he kills her. And then somehow he's dormant, and then he gets pissed on, and that's what awakens the turkey to come back and kill people.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why when you were like, the turkey kills people, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then he started talking, and I was like, well, now I'm out of it.
I'm out.
Like,
yeah.
It's talking turkey.
A perverted misogynist turkey?
Yeah.
Nope, not for me.
I think there's Thanksgiving 1, and then I think there's Thanksgiving 3. I don't think there's a 2. I think
that is great, and that's true.
I haven't seen all of 3, but I started it, and it has the same lady from the first one that was a pilgrim. Now she's in space, and the space outfit is all complete except for the boobs.
What?
Does the turkey float by and say, "Nice boobs, bitch"?
Nice tits, bitch. Yeah. So that's a holiday one is Thanksgiving.
Have you ever seen Blood Diner? Ever seen
No, everybody says that's great but bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've not seen that one yet.
There's just one line of it I remember watching with my friend, and we like, you ever like watch like a bad movie with a friend, and then you just like quote that until the end of time. So they're doing somebody needs to do some sort of spell, and one of the ingredients in the spell was the hearts and lungs of 2 sluts.
What?
Then you ask what constitutes a slut.
And so like this was like over a decade ago, and my friend would be like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "I don't know, hearts and lungs of 2 sluts, probably." Like,
2 cups of sugar.
2 cups of sugar. Unsalted butter.
Yeah. But yeah, so well, one thing I wanted to bring up, Jason Fox has this photo. I saw that online, and I got very excited because I love horror movies too. And I love when people love horror movies. And I saw this, and at first I just thought you just found a bush
that
looked like it was from the movie Halloween.
Yeah, no, that's from the movie Halloween.
Yeah.
The shirt I'm wearing right now.
So you actually went and found the bush.
The bush.
I'm
Usually
not a
I'm not a
merkin.
fan of the bush. Yeah, that used to be a merkin. They trimmed it back. But I was out in L.A. and Halloween was shot in, now I wrote it, but now I can't remember what city it was, Pasadena. So when you look at the original Halloween, it's all green grass and some palm trees, and they had to rake up the same bag of leaves the whole movie and move it around. So I went to the different spots in Pasadena and I'm wearing that shirt I'm wearing where Michael Myers is behind the sheets.
Oh, that's great. So here's my question. This photo op place, like, is this a hindrance on the neighborhood? People like you showing up and taking these photo ops all the time?
I'm sure, but I feel like the neighborhood has really embraced it. So many houses had Halloween decorations.
Okay.
The town kind of knows why people are there.
Okay.
The Michael Myers house, like from the movie where he lived, is there. I walked all these places.
Nice.
So it's weird because usually I'm on the road traveling solo. So it's weird to just be like a guy that just like by myself traveling to all these places and not look like a creep walking in somebody's neighborhood. You know, I'm looking for this one bush.
Can you help me find that bush?
Yeah, it's funny, like somebody that would be skulking around trying to murder somebody, and somebody that wants to get Instagram photos of their favorite 70s horror movie.
That's
looks
true.
very similar to each other.
And I met other people doing exactly what I was doing. There was a guy from Ohio that I met, and I had a Halloween shirt on. He had a Halloween shirt on, so we were both like that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah,
you know, it was definitely that. But I was also I was like, should I wear the shirt? Because you never know if you should wear the band shirt to the show. But I was like, I'm gonna wear it, and then everybody could tell I was
it seems appropriate in that situation.
Now, do they have like a festival, or is it just like wandering tourists?
The wandering tourists, but I was just out there in October, so that's kind of the month to do it. But they have like horror conventions, and it's LA, so there's always something going on in that city, you know?
I'm still confused how Irvington is like the biggest Halloween festival in the country.
It was one of
In
the
the world.
one of the longest running one. I mean, I think there was like 70,000 people here for the Irvington Halloween
It's
Festival.
a big, and my wife and I, we drive through Irvington to look at the Halloween decorations because our neighborhood's okay, but you guys have really good Halloween decorations.
Yeah, I saw you posting some, like, and I was like, oh, that's like
that's
a
down
couple
the street.
streets over.
Yeah.
Man, Irvington's they really embrace the spookiness. The night of the Halloween festival, after like, we just kind of turned it into like a, hey, stop by our house, and I made some biscuits and gravy, and people were just kind of party hopping and stopping in here. And then that night I took a nap, and then I went outside to clean up, and all of a sudden I look up and there's 300 people in a single file line, like right outside the house. And I was like, what the heck? And I realized, we're right on the haunted house tour, like the murder house tour.
Yeah.
So like one of the murder houses is like
H.H. Holmes.
Like, it's like, I don't know if it's that one, but it's like one of the houses is like two houses down from us.
And I'm like, how do we get on that? Like, how do we get on the murder house tour?
Start upping those numbers, baby boy.
I've been.
These are rookie numbers.
These are rookie numbers. I mean, maybe we're the ghosts, though. Maybe like they talk about us. Or like, wait a second.
Hey guys, you can go home now.
This is a Sixth Sense thing. It's like Brent's been podcasting here for years.
Always been here. It's one of those, where you didn't know there was a tour. Have you ever like happened across like a zombie walk that you didn't know was a zombie walk? And you're just like, oh God, they're all bleeding. Oh, okay, this is it's a costume thing.
No. But real quick about zombies, can I just speak to Instagram or Facebook real quick? And these ads, I don't know if you're getting these ads, but these ads for these zombie games always starts off like someone's in the elevator, and then some guy smacks another girl's butt, and then she gets mad, and then she bites him, and then they turn into a zombie. Are you seeing these ads, or is this
I think they're specifically targeted to you.
It's very targeted to your algorithm.
Like, it always starts with a girl getting smacked on the ass, and I'm like, what is going on here? No one's seen this.
No.
Can we scrub this from the podcast? I know what that's not. Why is my algorithm people
now
getting smacked
all our
and then
phones are
turning
going to
into
show
zombies?
us that ad because they've been listening.
Yeah, we're all going to see that now.
Yes. Okay. Well, moving on.
It's like you just smacked us on the ass. Now we're all going to be infected.
Yeah. Moving on. I guess. I'm sorry.
So on your field trip podcast, you talk You talk about was it a different subject each week?
Yeah, different subjects every week. So when I had you guys on, I think we did something like fast food gimmicks or something, where we talked about the angry Whopper and all that stuff. But then I've also done like for this month, it's been a year, but it was Thanksgiving gone wrong, of stories from Reddit and people that I found of like how Thanksgiving went wrong. Like one of my favorites was somebody didn't have enough counter space, but they had to take the turkey out of the oven. So they put it right on the floor so they could move other stuff, and then they came back and the dog shit on the turkey.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just shit on the whole turkey. That kind of thing. Or
Jason
fights.
Fox, please Google that.
Yeah, please. It was one of those stories. So.
That's so rude. Because like usually dogs will eat meat. I've never seen
or maybe
anybody.
it got sick and threw up on it. But either way, it ruined the turkey. So like Thanksgiving gone wrong. I did Halloween gone wrong. Can you imagine Halloween going wrong with fake bodies in somebody's yard and stuff like that? Or, a teacher, I think, brought a chainsaw into a classroom and was scaring kids, and somebody broke his leg, like a kid broke his leg. Like,
oh, dang.
And it's like, I try to keep it lighthearted, but some of these, it's gone wrong, but I'm also, let's have fun. But then some of them, like, you can't make this funny.
Right.
Where somebody getting hurt. But yeah, it's a different topic every week.
Man. They're like some schools be wild out right now. I feel like schools don't know how to act.
I think that was even years ago, and that was the teacher doing that. That's not even the students bringing stuff to school, but that was a teacher bringing in a chainsaw.
Did you? So what did you brought in some products here?
Oh yeah.
I was trying to segue from Thanksgiving from Halloween to.
We're sponsored by Sprite Winter Spice Cranberry. Not as good as Tinker Coffee or Upland Brewing. I just bought these because you said bring some drinks, and this is the kind of stuff I would get, these gimmick things.
Yeah.
So I have Mountain Dew Fruit Quake.
Okay.
Oh, that looks great.
It's supposed to taste like fruitcake stuff, and this is the kind of stuff I like to bring to holiday parties for everybody to try. It's something you bring those Harry Potter nasty jelly beans. Those Gamble jelly beans, so you don't know if you're going to get good ones or you're going to get vomit or whatever.
Yeah,
I just think that's fun to bring to parties and have people try.
Okay,
can I try?
Yeah,
here's
well, we got some.
Courtney,
sample,
can you help out with that?
We got
please?
some sample cups here too.
You got it. I didn't want to have them stretch too hard.
Yeah,
I love the. Man, I wish I was on the marketing team for some of these, especially like anything Mountain Dew related.
Well, Mountain Dew seems like they have like 100 different flavors of Mountain Dew.
No, let me just say this. Mountain Dew's doing well. That's all I drink now is the morning. It's like an energy drink. They have
yeah, I've had that before.
Oh, and it's so good. It's zero, it's low sugar. You have any of that stuff, Zach?
No, I haven't had that. My favorite is the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew.
No, it isn't.
I swear to God. Like, we bought it to do the gimmick
chicken in, right?
with Ben Polizzi, and it was way better than I thought it would be.
It is a little bit spicy.
Like, I bought a couple of them to make stuff with, and I just drank one myself. It's kind of nice.
This tastes like
this is the Fruit Quake Mountain Dew.
The Fruit Quake Mountain Dew tastes like maybe like a punch you would have had in like elementary school, like at a holiday, a holiday punch, like in like one of those, like a room mother would have brought. Did you guys have room mothers?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I went to Catholic school, so
I went to Catholic school too.
Like sister wives or
mother.
Room mothers 1 through 7.
Like a helper, like a teacher's assistant, right?
It was room mother was like a mom who signed up to be in charge of the snacks.
Okay.
But I thought it was something.
They always rotated it at our.
Like
you had a rotation, and then like there's one mom who brought really shitty snacks every time.
Yeah, but you knew the moms that brought the good snacks and the moms that brought the terrible snacks.
Saltines, great.
Did you guys, when you guys were trick or treating, did you ever have anybody that passed out like bunk, like not real candy?
Apples.
Yeah.
Toothbrushes. There was a dentist that I would go to his house and he would pass out toothbrushes.
What an asshole.
I remember I get soap.
I watched my kid get a pencil this year.
That's ridiculous.
And he looked so confused. He looked back at me. I was just like, huh? No, I don't know, buddy.
They're not all winners.
Who does that? Pencils?
I
Like,
mean,
that's like
she
don't
seemed very.
celebrate.
They seem very proud of themselves for handing out pencils.
Yeah, like celebrate Halloween or don't celebrate. Seriously,
It's coming from a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, it's from a teacher.
No, this is you saying
Yeah.
that with your anti-pencil rant.
Yeah, I even like say no pencils today, guys. It's Halloween.
I had a neighbor that would pass out like random handfuls of change.
I got the change where it was like clearly end of the night, and
So it
they're
was
like, sorry, you know.
35 cents.
Yeah.
Like, gosh. And you're a kid, so it's like it's a win still, but it's just weird. It's like, oh.
Now, Thad, did they hand you just you soap, or were they handing that out to
It
everybody?
was just me.
Yeah.
There
Was
a
it like
group
the
of
little
40 of
hotel
us.
soap?
Yes.
Like clearly here's some shampoo and some
Right.
conditioner.
No, it wasn't the hotel soap. It was the type you squirt.
Oh,
So
the
it just-
liquid. Yeah. Here's hold your hand out. Tell me when.
Yeah, and I had I was like,
Yeah.
you got any water at least?
No, get out of here.
While watching all these kids eat candy, it was a bad town.
Can I get the Sprite one?
Yeah, you could get the Sprite one. And this is what I'll say this. This tastes like what you wish communion juice tastes like. You know what I mean?
Did you
it's
just say
called wine.
communion juice?
That old Jesus
All right,
juice.
I know you were raised Catholic, sir, but in the Presbyterian, Pentecostal, Methodist, we did juice.
Yeah, in real church, you drink the blood of Christ, and you're always a little buzzed at the end of it after you get that blood.
I drink energy drinks, and whenever my wife, she doesn't like them, but she'll taste a new one if I get a new one. And anytime I drink one, she says it just tastes like liquid gummy bears.
Oh yeah,
And that's what this fruit quake tastes like to me. Is just a bunch. It's super sweet.
it does. It's great. I like it.
It just tastes like.
And then you're drinking the Sprite now.
Yeah, the Sprite is very light. It really just tastes like Sprite with a little bit of. You barely get any flavor in there.
A little holiday kick to it.
Let me just try this Sprite.
I'm a wedding venue bartender part time. So I was making a lot of Shirley Temples last night and I feel like this is like it tastes like a diet Shirley Temple.
I just was thinking because we had a Halloween wedding. We had a private wedding, but we had like the reception was show up in a costume, and the DJ showed up early while we're setting everything up, and he was already dressed as a vampire. But nobody else was dressed in costume yet, and he had like face paint on. Of course, we were going to change later before it actually started, but he was like, "You said to show up in costume, right?" And I just thought it would have been great to just tell the DJ to dress as Dracula, but not tell everybody else is in formal wear, but the DJ's dressed as Dracula.
I love that.
So now I want to go back and redo the wedding and just have the DJ show up and as a scarecrow or something.
That's such a smart idea, and you could use that trick for a lot of different things.
Yeah. Just tell one person it's a costume party and then have everybody else show up normal.
Who? Yeah.
Have you? I mean, you're a pretty
Comedian.
You're a pretty famous comedian.
I don't know about that, but
But have you ever parlayed this into getting like any kind of roles in a horror movie?
no,
Is
it's
that
not.
something you'd like to do?
Yeah, definitely. I love horror movies. I took during the pandemic. I took acting classes on Zoom, which I know it sounds like not a good idea, but it was. I had an acting teacher, and there was like a guy from Ireland, people from New York and LA, and we would do scenes, and this lady didn't take any shit, so she would tell you that you sucked and do it again.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's weird to not be good at something like, because I think I'm a good stand-up comedian, you know, but it's weird to start something new again where you don't really know shit. So it's weird. It's like some days I'd have a great class, and other days I'd just be like, God damn it. And it's weird to have that feeling of I need to work harder on something, but I think that's where growth occurs when you're a creative type, is do something that you're not good at and get good at that, you know?
What were the kind of the cheats, or I mean, not the cheats, but like what were like the little things of acting that you were just like, oh, I never even thought about that.
There was like, we would do like technique days of like and I don't remember all the stuff anymore of what, like you would be an element. So she would say, now you're fire, but you're like a little smoldering fire. So we'd all close our eyes and we'd be on Zoom, but then you would have to act out being like a raging fire, or a little fire, or your earth, your grounded earth, but your little quakey earth, and you take that and you use it in emotions and scenes, or you like she would say, like Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire was very ape-like. He was like, she'd be like, you're a little timid puppy, which I know this sounds like the dumbest shit ever, to be like pretend to be a little puppy on Zoom, but it's like you're using those animal characteristics in acting to be a certain character, whatever. And then like just doing scenes from movies that I had never seen, and she's like, don't watch the movie, just go do it. And then after I would do the scene and get the notes back, and you do it again, but then you go watch the movie and you're like, I was so off.
I was way off
with these. Yeah, but it's like it's a weird thing to do something that you're not familiar with, where I'm like the least experienced person in this class. You can pull up people's IMDb, and I'm like, I don't even know why you're here in this class, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like the guy that was in one of my classes, his name's Jamie something, but he was like the Robin Williams guy. He would do like the Robin Williams impressions. He had a trailer out like a year ago that blew up and went viral. Yeah, that guy. So I would recognize these people in this class. I'm like, I've not done anything. I was like the only one that lived in Indianapolis, not in like an industry city.
Yeah.
So it was very intimidating. But yeah, I would love to do movies and acting and whatever. I think that's what I would like to do, even more than stand up, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a full transition into...
I don't think I would ever stop doing stand up, but it would be nice to do something different. Like I've writing scripts and stuff. Of course, we're all writing scripts. We all say that, but working on stuff and doing videos and stuff, I could really see the progression of me. I don't know, being a better actor or be more willing to look stupid and silly. You have to really commit to that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I would love to see you in a movie. I think you're really funny. I love watching you're the type of person. Sometimes I'll see your algorithm. You come up on my Instagram, and I
slapped a lady on the butt.
Yeah, she bites me. Biting the zombie. That's you.
Yeah. No,
and hear me out. Sometimes I'll skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll skip it because I'll be like, I want to have like the full time to watch this, and digest it and go do multiple. So I'm like, oh, another one came out. Don't watch it right now. I want full attention to it.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe Tinker and Upland can team up together and sponsor you for a movie.
I think we should do that. Let's anytime there's corporate money coming in, that's not a bad thing.
It'll just be called Drink Liquids.
Yes.
My favorite thing would be to watch, I love watching your videos, but then a close second is just to slide right down into the comment section.
Oh, yeah.
And then just watch people melt down.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to know anything about yourself, just post a video on the internet and they will let you know something about you that you've always been self-conscious about, or something new.
Does that break you at all?
No, because I know I'm fat and I know how I look, so that's why I can play the character that I play. But also, I've heard of people of that, they post videos and you're like, and somebody were like, you got big ears. And now you're thinking, not me personally, but like people will be like, now I can't stop thinking how big my ears are. I'm like, that's not even true. They're just trying to say stuff to make you think that you have whatever,
Well, my favorite thing is when people take sides, and there's like the people that are, there's always the people that get off on being like, so there's the person that doesn't get that it's a joke, and that person's like, what the heck's going on here? And then then there's 12 people that just can't wait to be like, you got Terhune.
Actually, yeah.
Well, actually, he's a comedian, very popular, that plays this character. And then you see all the mansplaining, and so like that's a layer to it. And then there's also there's every once in a while you find the person who thinks that you're being like sincere.
Hell yeah,
It's like he's one of the good ones. All right.
Do you have fans that go too hard for you?
Maybe on the internet, where they're too quick to, it's sometimes just let it be. Let people think what they want to think.
Right. Yeah, you dumb. Like you're just cussing someone out.
Yeah, if you can roast me creative more than like, oh, you're fat. Like, yeah, I've heard that before, be funny about it. Say I look like somebody or something. Yeah.
I try to tell the comic, the comics try to come out, I think there's something fun for a comic to come out, come on here and take a shot at me because it's my podcast, and I'm like, that's fine. But like the two ones that they throw all the time, so the one that everyone loves to do is like, you're old, and I'm just like, just make it fucking funny, and also like. What's your end game, bro? Not aging? Like, I don't understand.
That's kind of the idea.
The worst take to take, you know? And it's just like, one, I'm not white, so I'm fine being my age. Like, it's okay. Tenna, not you. The other Tenna, Hannah. Hannah had one of the best jokes. It was like, the other one was like, hey, you're fat. And I was like, that's not a joke. Hannah called me one time. This wasn't on a roast or anything. This was just like leisurely hanging out. She said that I was like I was like a killer whale. She was like, you're half black, half white, and you're an apex predator.
Like, so that's when you get roasted like really well. That's the stuff that's always stuck with me. The great jokes, like DJ Dangler had what we did like a roast battle type deal, and it was. One of the jokes was Brent's family's so fat when they talk about the old country, they mean the buffet. Like, what a great joke, you know?
Yes. God, I think that's the key. I think that's the difference between a good joke and just like a shitty insult. Is like, like a good roast joke. Like you should you'd be like, I was the butt of that, but I love it. You know, like that was wonderful. Man, we're out of time.
I hate where they roast you physically. Remember the bean dips back in the day where like I don't know why they called it bean dip, but they would like lift up your nipple and they'd be like bean dip.
What?
That was just assault. You were just assaulted.
You guys didn't have that, or maybe that was just my school. I'm not even joking.
A comic from St. Louis has a joke about that, and I never heard that before. But you flip the titty,
you flip the nipple or the titty.
Bean dip. That's not something we had. What they would do is they flip your. They say bitch tits. Yeah, bitch tits. Yeah. Pumpkin tits was another one. I don't know why pumpkin tits is like, it was just a fun thing to say, pumpkin tits. But
well, it rolls off. It's in the back of the mouth. It's very
pumpkin. Yeah,
it has some contractions.
Isn't that something Mel Gibson said to a cop or something?
Pumpkin tits.
Sugar tits.
Oh, sugar tits.
That didn't happen to you guys, like the physical roast.
I mean, I think it's regional, so wherever you were, there was some sort of grab-assery McBall tapping going on, but they didn't call it bean dip where I was at.
Well, ball tapping got outlawed because boys were getting hurt, and then it turned into the titty twisters.
Yeah,
and then people's nipples were starting to like bleed, and then you would need to do the bean dip after that.
Boys and unfortunately sometimes men. Like doing like just real borderline homoerotic stuff, but it always has to hurt a little bit, so it's not gay. You know, I think that was always the thing. Is like, I'm gonna grab your dick, but in a mean way. You know, it was like, this is the weirdest bonding experience,
but in a mean way.
Not a gentle caress.
Yeah.
Let me move that merkin to the side. And
that's like when women talk about the like knocking the patriarchy over, and I'm like, I'd never liked it to begin with. There's a lot of twisting my nipples around and giving me ball taps.
Remember that day you grabbed my crotch? Yeah, but it hurt, didn't it? It hurt.
There was a news story that this kid got. They sprayed, and he was doing it too, but it was a locker room type deal where they sprayed 2 full cans of Axe on his nipple, and it comes out cold or what when you spray it so much that his nipple just fell off.
No,
and his shirt was bleeding during class. It's never good when your shirt's bleeding.
That's the worst roast ever when you end up knocking off someone's nipple.
Yeah, and now you're just nippleless for life. You got to explain why.
That doesn't grow back like a thumbnail or something?
No, it's not like what's that lizard's tail that comes that grows back. Yeah.
I feel like
I wish they did.
I feel like nipples are surprisingly easy to like fall off. Like if your nipple falls like
Zach, give this guy.
How many times have you seen a nipple fall off? It's a rarity.
It's kind of like pepperoni on a pizza. It just doesn't come off.
Oh, the green, like just sliding off. Mandel had like the best joke about nipples falling off. Go follow him on Instagram. But I don't know anybody else's nipples that just slide off.
Well, like anyone that's had, I guess what I was kind of referring to that, but like anyone that's had like any kind of like surgery where you're moving stuff around in that area, it's like very common that your nipples could fall off. like it's not unheard of for a nipple to just bloop. Like once it gets once they do any kind of like work underneath there, it could like. Guys, I don't have any nipples. That's what I'm trying to say here. I've been beating around the bush.
Well, it happened to me twice.
Let's just say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I don't have any nipples.
You can't fool me third time because I'm out. I'm out of nipples.
Oh man!
Drop a beat for me there, Zach. Brent Terhune, thank you so much for being here, being part of our Friendsgiving festivities. Always a fun time. Where can people find you and follow you on social media?
BrentComedy.com is my website. It has the links to all the social media stuff, but I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I do the podcast Field Trip with Brent Terhune, and then I also do a horror movie podcast called They're Coming to Get You. That's a weekly show as well.
Oh, man. I want to get on that one, too.
Yeah, come out.
Do you watch a horror movie?
Well, every week we watch a brand new one. So we've done, first season was all the hits. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Exorcist, and now we're getting into some of the weeds of Terrifier, stuff like that.
Can I call Blood Diner?
Yes. We
I don't think I've watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are making a movie and you need someone to play like a big fire or a little fire or a trembling puppy.
Yes.
Or the guys that nipples fell off.
A guy with no nipples.
Yeah.
Brent Terhune. Thaddeus J.
Hey, you can find me at recyclednipples.com. That's my organization. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Or at Thad McKee, Instagram and Twitter, baby.
You know what they do if your nipples fall off? You like the solution to your nipple has fallen off. You know what the solution is?
Peroxide?
What?
Peroxide?
No, I don't think that would do much. They just tattoo a nipple where your nipple used to be.
Like over the blood?
I do googly eyes.
Not like as it's like. Not like as it's bleeding.
Gotta heal up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know the time. Give me a tattoo gun, quick.
I didn't know.
You gotta get it when it's fresh. It doesn't take if it's not fresh.
Hey, you might need this tattoo. You gotta do it right away. Take this gun with you. Yeah, I didn't know the time frame.
Zach Roan.
You can find me at Zach_Roan on all social media.
Guys, check out our Patreon. We have an amazing full comedy podcast that we do outside of this with some of the best local comedians. This week it's going to be Tana McDonald. Just go to patreon.com/Harder Brunch. And for only $3, you get access to not just the weekly Patreon, but we have a full catalog of episodes.
Oh.
Over 100, Zach?
Like over 150.
Over 150?
Yeah.
You have a whole library of stuff going back.
Wait, on After Brunch or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. There's not that many there.
You're just lying to people.
Yep.
Okay.
There's over 200.
Over 3,000.
There's a library with some number attached to it.
At least
full of episodes. And some of these episodes, this was back at the beginning. So, I mean, there's wild stuff in there. Stuff that could definitely get that fired.
There's still stuff there.
I mean, you really only need $3 if you want to get that fired. You need $3. You get that fired. You get Zach canceled. He said a lot of stuff about mixing races. And then, I think I'm good. I think I was good on all of this. I think I fell asleep a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, most of it was talking about you.
Yeah.
No, we love you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
This is what happens when you mix races.
Oh my god!
Got it.